long of a break?
Well, we wouldn't want to keep you from what is hopefully an elections and party with Aaron and Dave.
I didn't hear anything about a party. What?
Well, they're going to have something to sing or listen, you know what I mean.
Hello, Joe. I was just kidding, okay? Here is Politicals.
Everybody, welcome to Politicals from the Union. I'm Dave Harden.
And I'm Aaron Smith-Meyer.
You, obviously we have a new president. You don't...
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, that's fair.
You know, I know it's political. I don't want to talk about it.
You know, that's fine. You know what? Let's actually watch some clips.
Please don't make me relive it.
Too bad. Here they are.
My friends, we have come to the end of a long journey. The American people have spoken, and they have spoken clearly. A little while ago, I had the honor of calling Senator Barack Obama to congratulate him. Please. To congratulate him on being elected the next president of the country that we both love. In a contest as long and difficult as this campaign has been, his success alone commands my respect for his ability and perseverance. But that he managed to do so by inspiring the hopes of so many millions of Americans who had once wrongly believed that they had little at stake or little influence in the election of an American president is something I deeply admire and commend him for achieving.
If there is anyone out there who still doubts that America is a place where all things are possible, who still wonders if the dream of our founders is alive in our time, who still questions the power of our democracy, tonight is your answer. It's the answer told by lines that stretched around schools and churches in numbers this nation has never seen, by people who waited 3 hours and 4 hours, many for the first time in their lives, because they believed that this time must be different.
And you know, after it's kind of an interesting juxtaposition overall. I mean, after an incredibly dirty campaign, I mean, two of the classiest speeches I think I've seen in quite some time. I mean, the McCain concession speech was such class.
John McCain is the best American of our generation.
He's not of our generation. He's like 6 generations ago.
He's still alive during our generation, so I count it.
No, I mean,
I tell you what, I was thoroughly impressed with his concession speech, and while the supporters and Facebook statuses the next day weren't always the most articulate of positions and the most classy, John McCain set a precedence and he set an example, and I think that is something that can be admired for generations to come.
Absolutely, and you know, actually I think that was, everyone's saying, oh, how McCain supporters booed and all that. Here's my explanation for that. They were the losing side.
Yeah.
Okay? And notice, however, you know, all the Obama supporters, you know, clapped whenever you mentioned John McCain. It's a lot easier to be gracious when you win.
Yeah, it's easy to be gracious when you have,
and especially, I mean,
over 300 electoral votes.
349 to, I believe it was
when you win before all the states are done reporting.
Right, and that was, Alaska hadn't even, close to that point, they were closing at 1 a.m. Eastern Time, and by 10 o'clock or 11 Eastern Time, it was already decided.
Yeah. Which,
I mean, it was an absolute landslide in almost every category. I think the thing that concerns me most about this is not so much that Barack Obama is president. I voted for him. What concerns me right now, though, is the fact that the legislature is now dominated by Democrats.
I think, you know, I think it should be evenly balanced. If not evenly balanced, in control, the party that controls it should be the opposite party of the president.
Absolutely, and I completely agree with that. Just, you know,
but at least it's not filibuster-proof, because, you know, even if
only got 56 seats in the Senate.
Right, 57 seats.
57.
And, you know, even though it is going to be much easier to pass legislation now, you're going to have to worry about, you know, Democrats that don't agree with the policies, you know, any given one. Plus, even if the filibuster is overwritten, it's enough where it can slow it down, make people rethink, and make a lot of Democrats go, hey, you know, this might not be the best idea.
Yeah.
The big thing though is I want to touch on this before we finish this up.
Absolutely.
Is that Russia is already testing Barack Obama.
Absolutely.
He hasn't taken the oath of office yet. It's still a month and a half out.
Yep.
And they've already talked about that the fact that they want to have Vladimir Putin wants to have an individual conference with him in 2 weeks at the G8
to size him up. Well, I mean, that's the kind of thing you're going to expect, though, and that's the kind of thing that's going to happen regardless. Mm-hmm. You know, you're a new president. It's time to, great, you won. Now it's time to deal with being a president.
And we're going to have to talk more on that next week because
Absolutely.
I'm sure Russia's going to keep talking.
Oh, yeah.
So.
They've been flexing for a while. All right, I'm Dave Harden.
And I'm Aaron Smithmeyer. Thanks for joining us here on Politicals, and be sure to tune in next week.
The sun had just begun to rise on Northwest Campus, and students were already filing into the station to cast their vote in the 2008 election. Some came as early as 5:30 in the morning and waited for the polls to open. Caleb Holder, who like many other students voted for the first time, handed in the first ballot on campus. The city of Maryville was buzzing all day long with many people having to wait in line to vote. This historic election gave many first-time voters a new appreciation for their rights.
It's important for people to know that this is one of the best parts of living in America, is the chance to participate in a democracy. It's what people are fighting for overseas, people are giving their lives for this. So I think it's not only our right, it's our responsibility to go out and vote.
No matter your party affiliation, the underlying theme in this year's election was just to get out there and vote. For the Extra Scoop, this is Jackie Walter reporting.
What? Why are you pointing? Oh, it's that time again.
I guess so. Well, when we come back, Jackie and Becca have the results back from Mr. Northwest from Katie and Laura.
Will it be Bobby or Christian?
There's only one way to find out, and that's to stay tuned for more Extra Scoop.
We'll be right back.